Hey folks, we're back here with another Smackdown review with my eyes closed. And of course, we had Drew McIntyre appearing on Smackdown over for addressing to the Roman that he will defeat Randy Orton for the WWE Championship and go out to to Survivor Series and kick his ass. Roman Reigns going over and Paul Heyman literally disrespecting the Raw that they should to give some importance to SmackDown. Roman Reigns legitimizing his apparel and of course his reign and his of course his reasons why people watch SmackDown more than Raw. And Paul was like, yeah, I don't either. They're disrespecting. After it looks like they were closing in more into a fight, Jey Uso trying to defend his family or the tribal chief, coming off to be like, we taking over things. We just, it just feels like, I understand he's doing his job after, getting bitched by him twice now. So, it ends later in the main event. Jey Uso challenging Roman Reigns into a match after shoving him off and making him feel more of a jobber. It ends in the main event is literally Drew McIntyre against Jey Uso, a Raw versus SmackDown match. Be more important if it was against somebody more relevant. Yes, Roman Reigns did make it quite potent that he did make Jey Uso into a main eventer. Never means he wins his matches, except that one time against Daniel Bryan and Kevin Owens. But it was nice. We had Roman Reigns literally talking down over to Jey Uso like, it is me. This is my show. This is my company. It's like, stuff like that makes Roman Reigns feel like he still has most of the control. Now, here's the low points of SmackDown. We, of course, sorry for saying of course, a lot of course, damn it, of course. So we had Apollo Crews against Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship, literally just 2 weeks before the pay-per-view. And Sami Zayn's like, I've been giving just a week of information into me defending it against Apollo Crews. They do bring relevance that Apollo was feuding with Bobby Lashley for the U.S. title before he went to SmackDown when he was a jobber. And now he came from challenging for the U.S. title. He had like a 2-month reign, beating MVP and Benjamin, into now jobbing to Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, they had a brawl outside. There was a standing moonsault, exploder suplex. Then he just does the same stuff. I don't understand why people have faith in him. He has the look. He has athleticism. The guy has good size and he's well built. He has no personality. And he does the same like 7 moves. Come on, why is he still getting pushed up to even get championship matches when Otis was literally more over than him for most of the year? It ends with Sami Zayn making a strategy, revealing the ring apron curtain, and causing Apollo's leg to be hooked up. Oh, by the way, Zelina Vega got released. Somehow, addressing that you have a union in a multi-billion-dollar company won't get you immediately released in your futures endeavored. Literally, I think it was quick as hell that she got released anyway, and it kind of sucks too, man. You don't want to see, especially in this time, that of course, like talented people like Zelina Vega, that obviously has aspirations. She's probably well liked backstage. Literally has a relationship with Aleister Black. You think she would get at least a suspension? Nope, you get released. That's a bit rough, bro. And she did nothing, and she hasn't done anything when she was even on SmackDown. She jobbed out to Bianca Belair. She failed in the triple threat match. It's like you're not even going to make her a composite favorite to begin with when she got her away from Andrade, and we don't even know where Andrade is because he's still a free agent. Some way. I think he got injured. So Sami Zayn is still Intercontinental Champion. Next up, we had Carmella attacking Sasha Banks after she came with her reversal wearing, I have to say, it was a pretty nice looking dress on her. with of course beginning to speak her mind about Bailey until Bailey's music played, and then Carmella came super kicking him. And it's like, oh no, this is literally supposed to be the comeback of Carmella. Like, I get that Bianca Belair is in the Survivor Series team, but you don't get any benefit of that except bragging rights for shows that are in the same setting and controlled by the same person. But we have two world champions, so it's completely different show, different atmosphere. Even though we have no identity, but that's besides the point. SmackDown has less star power, and God, Carmella's horse face, red rip-off Eva Marie ring attire looks like trash. She comes around surprise attacking Sasha Banks. Oh my god, dude, I'm not that enticed on Carmella. Like, this is probably the same standpoint. This probably stands for Carmella because, of course, when you have like no not that many attractive features, you don't seem to have that much crossover appeal or that much charisma to begin with. The only reason that you're only going to have any semblance of support if you're that attractive to like guys that are obviously get rejected a lot, or you have a big butt, or Naomi, or give Naomi a chance hashtag, and she got like pushed for like look at my finger right now, about like two months, and she got dropped out to Bailey. Then she got nothing else in the standpoint of that, and then some people wanted to force it as a race issue, or because she thought she didn't give an opportunity, even though she's a two-time women's champion, and she can't get over that hump because guess what? She can't get over. Literally bring up that word like earlier in the sentence, but that's besides the point. That's just my opinion on it. Sorry about my small rant on Naomi. It's just that was a terrible summer for pro wrestling, especially for the pro wrestlers. So Otis faced off against Dolph Ziggler, and it came into Otis eating a whole lot of stuff, coming in with Robert Roode that I don't know if he even got a qualifying match or something, and Dolph Ziggler making fun of him. Otis with his diabetes strength coming around, tossing over the table, walking away. I mean, at least Otis has the semblance of a personality. He's just a fatter Festus that can get over, I guess. That's just my opinion on the matter. I'm not the. I kind of lost some faith in Otis, and I think they're even giving up after literally letting him give away the briefcase back against the Miz in Hell in a Cell. So next up, we had Otis against Dolph Ziggler for a qualifying match for the Survivor Series team. Everything was going decent for Otis. He was coming off clotheslines, not getting affected off the dropkick. Then he comes around with the splash. I mean, a power slam until trying to go for the splash. Robert Roode comes for a distraction. And Dolph Ziggler had enough to execute the zigzag for the win. He qualifies for Team SmackDown. And at least Ziggler has a semblance of, he has experience. And he won 2 Survivor Series teams. So, yeah, that gives him, like, more of an advantage for Team SmackDown. And then also we had the final chapter with Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins. And plus, there was a picture of Aaliyah with her boyfriend, and the thing. So I think they're chopping this up now, because this is actually getting decent TV. So yeah, Rey Mysterio faced off against Seth Rollins. The match was there was a time he was going for a distraction. Rey Mysterio Murphy tried to get involved. Rey Mysterio botched the 619 until he had to try it again because it looked like he messed up, slipped, and tried to punch him. Then he had to attempt the 619 again. Hurricane Rana. There was a spot over to the steps where he went for a baseball slide. My man literally went head first and went for a splash over the apron to the steel step where Rollins was. I thought that was a cool spot. There was a sunset flip on the outside by Mysterio. That was on the guardrail. That was pretty lit. The match had some decent spots, but other than that, a predictable finish. I see Murphy, just especially when it's literally called the final match. Murphy, bicycle knees, Rollins, surprised with the shocker. It ends with Mysterio picking up the victory. Everybody hugging, Aaliyah's happy, everybody's happy, he gets a handshake and approval by the family. That's the end of the saga between the one-eyed Mysterio and, of course, Seth Rollins of the Mysterio family and the Messiah. Murphy then goes over to Adam, Rollins goes up to Adam Pearce, trying to issue that he still has problems when he's done with the Mysterios, but Murphy, he still has a problem with him, and he'll make sure that he deals with him. So, yeah, I thought it was fine. It was a decent conclusion, and I thought the feud kind of dragged on. Like, it didn't need to be on SmackDown. They could have done the whole Aaliyah loving Murphy thing on Raw. But thanks Raw sucks, they had to put it on SmackDown where it'd be a bit more consumable. Next up, we had a Fatal 4-Way. Liv Morgan, Tamina, Natalya, and then, from NXT, Chelsea Green. I thought this was pretty exciting, especially because, we were kind of expecting NXT stars to show up, where you were literally trying to like refigure most of the guys you have on your roster already. So you would think like more up and coming NXT talent would show up like you did back in 2016. So it was pretty nice to see Chelsea Green, and plus there has been teasers of her coming into the main roster to begin with. Yeah, the Natalia came around backstage, taking over another chance to become like captain for Team SmackDown, so she still hasn't qualified. Tamina's just there because Tamina's just there. And Liv, we just gave her a qualifying match because Ruby won hers. That's technically the reason why she's even getting this. The match was fine, forgettable, and a standpoint. Surprise roll up of Liv Morgan. She picks up over the finish. There was, of course, a 2 submission spot. This time there wasn't a mess up with Natalya completely being neglectful. And it was a face buster for the win over Tamina, a snuck over victory for Liv Morgan over Natalya, and Natalya still gets screwed over. And it's like, why? With her suction cup lip ass, disgusting jobber. God, why is she still on television? I'm serious, folks. Why is she still on television? So Liv Morgan goes off with connecting with the Riot Squad with Ruby Riot to be with Team SmackDown next to Bianca Belair. And I forgot the other chick. So yeah, congrats to Liv Morgan and all that jazz. I'm sorry, folks. I don't care about these qualifying matches. These are just reasons I have wrestling matches, and I would be okay with that if there was more of a story. Because still, the more compelling stuff on SmackDown is literally just either what the Mysterios are doing or whatever Roman Reigns is doing. Thanks, he has no legitimate competition because obviously they're not going to push another dumb feud down the throat with Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. There was no promo involving Lars Sullivan because you forgot how much of a laughingstock he was, just screaming like an absolute retard. You'd think you'd rather hear, "It's not my fault" all the time. Or something more drastic as, Carl Anderson cheating on his wife. Sorry for that shot, but had to be said. So the main event was Jey Uso against Drew McIntyre, you know, disrespecting the family, and of course, getting into Roman Reigns' face. Match was fun as you can get it. Samoan drop, counters off some clotheslines, a spine buster off a bridge for a near fall. Like, it was a basic match. With Roman Reigns, yes, he did come and intervene a bit, but not as much, just glaring at Drew McIntyre. Then he just shook him up with a super kick for a near fall. It ends with, of course, what do you think it ended with? What do you think it ended with? What do you think it ended with? I'm letting you answer it right now. What did you think it ended with? He got the Claymore for the win. Then we had a literal face off with Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. That was SmackDown. I'd give it like a, a 4. A 4 seems more basic because we have teasers of McIntyre and Roman Reigns, and that could be it because I don't think they have Orton holding the belt for long. And especially if you have something like that, you'd think like McIntyre would play more of a factor after Zelina Vega got released, or something more drastic. But yeah, that was practically the show. They literally just put McIntyre there because they have no star power, and they have nothing for Daniel Bryan after losing to Jey Uso. Like now, there's no way you're going to be feuding with Randy or with Roman Reigns, and Kevin Owens a fat slob. You're not going to have him continue to be in the main event picture like when he was on Raw when he was Universal Champion when they were like getting 1.6s, right? So it's either teasing some factor to chase Roman Reigns, even if it's not for a title match, like it's just for a pay-per-view match. So there's no threat for Roman Reigns at all. Great. That's just my opinion on the matter. This wasn't as good as the last 2 to 3 weeks of SmackDown, in my opinion, and that's rough to say. I don't want to be like that. We did had a Big E segment involving the Street Profits that I thought was a bit sus, awkward. Still trying to harass him. Big E, the Street Profits, still trying to harass Big E to get info on the New Day come their tag team match to no avail. Like, there's no point of even doing it to begin with. Why do you care about getting info on a team that nearly wrestles the exact same style as you guys? And second, it's a match with no belts on the line. What benefits do you get as champions that also get to defend nothing or lose anything? That you need information on the team, and you're both baby faces. So what's the point? I don't get it. This was just a brain dead episode of SmackDown, in my opinion. If you enjoyed it, good for you. I thought SmackDown these last couple weeks were actually enjoyable television, not just enjoyable wrestling. Get that for your head. It's not enjoyable wrestling. It's enjoyable television. I don't need wrestling every single. I just need enticing drama, some cool action, and actual stakes. Or else there's no point watching the show. Stop Adam Pearce. Refigure your roster. Get Dexter Lumis. Get Cameron Grimes. Get some guys from NXT. Put them on SmackDown so you at least have a relevant roster. Because most of these guys are either jobbers, just lower to mid-carders if we had no brand split to begin with. And they have no character and there's no conceivable storylines that they have for them in the first place. So get some guys from NXT. Give them gimmicks. Let there be a GM. Hell, bring back Teddy Long for at least the nostalgia points. Hell, let him have a tag team match or something. At least that shows more importance into the show. Don't just have Adam Pearce smuggling around, then issuing a McIntyre a match out of nowhere, and then he comes like, come on. When was he even a primordial authority figure to begin with? And there's no other callback up to this. It's like, why is the McMahons that were reportedly controlling the WWE back in 2019, when the GM thing couldn't work and they knew that the roster sucked and so did their ratings, and now they have Adam Pearce running both Raw and SmackDown. Like, that's not making any sense. That's just my opinion on the matter, man. This was just a weak episode of SmackDown, in my opinion, and that's hard for me to say because I've been enjoying SmackDown more than Raw lately. But that's it from me. I hope you guys liked the review, and that's it. Nothing else. You get nothing. Good day.